What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another FISBO Domination student interview. With me today, I've got one of our rising stars, I guess you would say, inside of our program. This guy is newer to our system, but having awesome success. And with me today, I have Tane. See, I said it right today. Tane, right? So, dude, thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to share your story with people because my goal is that your story helps to inspire another agent out there, Tane, that's struggling with some of maybe the things you struggled with in the beginning so they can reach levels of success that you have. So thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, of course. I'm more than happy to help. I was in their shoes at one point too, so that's why I'm more than happy to help with this. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, man, no worries. So let's start off with this. Let's have the audience understand a couple things. How long have you been in the business? Where do you work? Where do you sell real estate? What market are you in?
So full-time agent, 6 months and 11 days. I was a part-time agent, but I really didn't do much as a part-time agent because I had a full-time job. I did, one deal myself and two like lease deals. So I really even wouldn't consider those times because I didn't do the work that I was supposed to be doing. And I'm over in Virginia, so I live in Suffolk, but I operate pretty much one hour radius essentially. So work in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia Beach, things like that. So yeah, so altogether, I technically consider myself in the business 6 months and 11 days.
Awesome.
So yeah.
6 months, 11 days. No one's counting, right?
Yeah.
Track everything.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure.
So very cool.
Yeah.
So when you first, number one, I mean, what got you into this crazy business in the first place?
So this is my first sales job. I before this, I was in IT. I was director of support for an IT company for, I was in the IT industry for like 5, 6 years, I guess you could say. And I was working a crap ton of hours and just wasn't paying off, man, and just was sick and tired of it. And my brother is a realtor as well in New York. He got into real estate before me. He started as a part-time as well, actually. He went full-time eventually. He's crushing it now. His business is definitely different from mine. He's more straight to the point. Doesn't believe in delayed gratification at all. He got into real estate, became a full-time agent, and I saw the money he was making. He was able to quit his job. So I followed his track, did part-time. But eventually, I did something that was absolutely crazy and I don't recommend anyone to ever do. But I pretty much bought a house. I lived in New York at the time. I bought a house in Virginia. And I was making an exit plan essentially. So I was like, oh, I might as well use my advantage. I worked at a place for 5 years. I take out a loan, bought a house, and then I quit my job, and then became a full-time agent. I had part-time money coming in, so I did a lot of freelancing work. So I highly would not recommend anyone to do this because without the freelancing work, I'd be dead in the water. I don't know, maybe I'd be set with just real estate, but yeah, that's essentially what happened. I moved from New York, came to Virginia, became a full-time agent, now 6 months and 11 days to be exact. And I became an agent because I liked the idea of how the unlimited amount that I can make. And I was always, one thing I hated with other jobs was I would work a shit ton of hours, more than what I'm doing now actually, and make less. So that was my biggest pet peeve. Now I don't have to ask anyone for a raise. I give myself a raise by working harder. So that's, yeah.
So real estate provides you massive upside. You said this is a great opportunity. If I put the work into it, I can have a huge income for your future. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. I wish I did it sooner.
Yep, me too. So very cool. So you've been in the business for 6 months, right? And so we're going to kind of talk about your numbers here in just a second, because I think that you should be very proud of what you've been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time. But before we do that, how did you find me? How did you find this program? Like walk me through that real quick. I've never really understood that.
The shiny object syndrome, man. I've tried a bunch of different things, especially when I first started, but I was doing Ricky Cruz's program, actually. I found you through one of his YouTube videos. That's how I found you. You did a
Okay.
YouTube video with him, and I just checked you out, and I started going through your content. And yours, you seem to have more structure, a system that I can follow. That I don't want to shit on anybody. So yeah, you had a system that I could actually follow versus just call my ass off and just randomly talk to people and like this, which I did circle prospecting. I collected a bunch of email addresses, definitely for sure. Just I've only met 2 people out of circle prospecting that I did. So the first 2 months I was here in Virginia, before I even got my license in Virginia, I started circle prospecting because I knew that it's going to take a while for me to get something. So 2 months before I got my license, just circle prospecting, hoping I could meet somebody. I knew what brokerage I was going to be going to anyway, so I already told them I'm with eXp Realty. Just started dialing, and I just met like 2 people, collected like 20-something email addresses, but never came to fruition of anything. So when I ran across you, where it kind of made sense, the low-hanging fruit, I was like, oh, that's that. I've went for FSBOs before in New York, and I didn't know what I was doing, so it was just garbage essentially. I was using sales script. I was trying to close on the phone, but it never worked, especially when I was so new. So now the idea of building, just face-to-face and base hits,
Love it.
So yeah,
So
that's what attracted me to you.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. So let me kind of unpack that a little bit. So your first 2 months, you start doing some circle prospecting, you start trying some different things that, and to your point, it's not about, bashing anyone. Whatever works for some people works for some people.
Yeah.
So first 2 months in the business, you start circle prospecting, trying a bunch of different things. And then you stumble upon me somehow through YouTube, right? And then, so when did you actually officially join our training program?
Yeah, to be exact, literally when I got my license.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
literally when I got my license, which was about 6 months and 11 days ago, to be exact. Like that's August. So
Wow.
yep. So I just started circle prospecting before because I know it takes time to build up things,
Got
and
it.
I still do circle prospecting, but I do circle prospecting for my listings now.
Yep.
As part of my marketing that I sell and that I do, and I have a listing that just came for sale, and I try to get other sellers and buyers through it. So
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Cool. All right. So you've been with us for about 6 months. So let's walk through. You posted something in our private Facebook group, which the day you posted that, like literally, it not only did it make my day, but I told you before we started recording, it's people like you, Tane, that cause me to put all this effort into a program like this because of what it's done for me, and it's allowing me to help other people do the same thing. So walk people through what has happened, what has occurred over the past 6 months, your first 6 months as a real estate agent.
So this is just for sale by owners. I've been on, I've set 110 preview appointments. And I've been on, damn, I didn't add that up before, sorry.
That's okay, no worries.
Because I just added up how many I set before.
No rush.
12 plus 9 plus 4.
I love that you have all your numbers so visible. So I like that the audience gets to see them.
I've been on 89 for sale by owner preview appointments.
Awesome.
So
you've been
out of the,
yep, go ahead.
Out of the 89, I've listed 12 of them.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's not the numbers that you, well, again, I told you before, I'm not following you like the mailing part. And again, this is all my fault. I am completely to take blame for it because again, I don't have systems in place. And it's tough, man. I don't know how you, it's tough. I give props to anybody that can do the follow-ups on every Friday to literally to schedule, sending out the mailers to schedule. I give everybody props that because I'm like definitely, I guess because it's my first sales job too, I'm like, oh, just me. So that's why I got to figure out right now. That's really where I'm trying to fine tune is I'm working on hiring an assistant / transaction coordinator where I just pay per transaction as you suggested. So there's just things I need to roll out that'll help me out for sure.
Well, you're going to get there, right? Like you're drinking from a fire hose right now. You're selling real estate. I mean, you took 12 listings just from for sale by owners your first 6 months in the business. It usually takes agents, just so you know, 6 months to really get their first listing and keep going. So you've got a lot of business coming in. You're probably overwhelmed, so it's completely normal. And things with that whole direct mail piece, there's systems that you're going to learn about in our new version of our program, like Banner Season. When I train you on that system, you'll be able to just lock it in, hit start, and you'll never have to worry about mail again, right? So there'll be things like that, and you'll get more efficient over time. But you shouldn't take anything away from you. I think you are in a great position, and you're keep iterating, right? There's a technology word for you, Mr. Tech Guy, right? So just keep iterating. You're going to keep making your processes and your systems better as you continue to grow your career. So you've got 12 listings with just for sale by owners. So let's walk people through kind of like what you're learning in the system. Like, how is that possible? The way of communication that you're learning now in our program versus what other people teach. What's so different about it? What's helped you get these type of results?
Oh man, I think it's a lot to do with mindset for sure, more than anything. And I watch your Man in the Mirror video probably once a month, to be quite honest with you, just to get myself back in the zone of, because it's every day you're dealing with no's. But like yesterday, I had 2 preview appointments where these people loved me and the value I provided, and it makes me go back like, oh man, this is cool. This is the stuff that I look for, because the whole week was rough. I had people just whatever. But the difference is really the base hits, man. I always, the past scripts I don't know exactly whose scripts they were. They would just provide it to me, and I would just use them for sale by owners. And they were just trying to get that slam dunk, try to get someone to list with you over the phone, I didn't think about this at the time. I'm sure it works for other people. But my personality, the way I am, I'm very personable, very honest, and I hate when salesy techniques are being used on me. So I think of it the same exact way. It's just the base hits, working on meeting them face to face, because that face to face changes everything. And I'm actually using that pretty much the basics, the frameworks that I've learned from your for sale by owner with expires now as well.
That's right.
And it works really well. Just working on meeting them face to face, the expires even, and just from the face to face changes everything, helping them out. That's really it, man. Your program, it's not, if you're looking for that magic bullet or whatever they call, it's not, I don't know. It's just the hard work and following the systems,
Yeah. So, yep. So let me unpack that a little bit, because you're exactly right. I think what you're saying is that what's being taught in the industry. So people getting in the industry, a baseline foundational, what's being taught is, hey, we're going to give you some scripts and some dialogues and an approach to call a for sale by owner, to try to convince them that what they're doing is wrong, and try to convince them that listing with an agent is better, right? That's number one. That's kind of what's being taught. There's a bunch of different spins on it. Yeah. And that's where most agents, they burn out, because it takes, like you said, it does work for some people, because they can sit there and make thousands and thousands of these phone calls like your brother to finally find someone that says, yeah, dude, I'll list this thing with you, right? So what you're talking about is what we teach is not applying that high level of pressure.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is designing a way of communication in such a way where the consumer doesn't feel that pressure, agrees to meet with you, and then when you're on that appointment, we teach you how to position yourself as a backup opportunity for this for sale by owner, and that's like the big key difference. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I personally think as well that it makes the selling process a lot easier too when they've actually been through the pain. I think you call it regression to the mean or something like that, right, where something has changed their thought process on, like the traffic light example you give, like that. I was just giving that to another realtor this morning because they were expecting it right away. But yeah, the selling process seems to be a lot easier too, because they've been through the pain, they know what it is, they kind of trust you more, and I don't know, it's that's what I think as well. Because my brother, for example, hates listings. He hates sellers, and like working with, he prefers to work with buyers and sellers, because it says sellers are a pain in the butt and all this. And I'm over here like, I'll take sellers all day long, man. It's been nothing but easy for me. Like, I've had to do price reductions, and the talks were super easy. just the matter of the expectations that you teach to set. So like,
That's exactly right.
yeah, the 1 out of 3 did not know about that, and it's been helping me a ton. Yeah, so just like examples of like, yeah.
Because of what's being taught, you know, and that's just the thing. I mean, that's why I really kind of put everything on my life on hold for this program, because of what you're saying. It's not your brother's fault. You know, like he hates listings because he probably is, in his experience, they've been a pain in the ass. He hasn't learned how to set expectations. He hasn't learned how to communicate in such a way, which is Socratic style selling, Socratic style questioning. You know, reverse selling is what we teach it, where the consumer, it provides the consumer a much better experience and the agent a better experience, where both of you are on the same page. And that's kind of what you're saying. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I personally think that, again, I'm new, so who am I to say what's right and wrong? But I just think so far in my experience, I prefer the sellers over buyers. You know, that's just the business model I'm trying to take. And you know, of course, there's always more responsibilities, things like that with high pay, but that's just how it is. You know, but yeah, just the whole following your system and how you set expectations and everything like that, I think makes a huge difference, in my opinion.
Awesome. So now let me kind of shift gears a little bit. So I want to get some of your advice. You said something a minute ago. You said you were talking to an agent who was looking to get it all today, you know, and most agents, Tane, don't understand this whole pipeline maturity thing, where they've got to put the work in before the results start spitting out. What advice would you give to agents that are watching this? Because you're going to inspire a lot of agents, believe it or not, that are brand new to the business or been in the business a long time that aren't getting the same results you are. Help people understand this whole concept around pipeline maturity.
I'm looking for the paper, man.
Yeah.
I have the printout. Any day where I get stressed out, or if I have another realtor, because I do, you know, I'm calling every day, and something that might help others out too. I do Zoom calls with other agents that are calling at the same time. So it's kind of funny hearing other people get cussed out, or, you know, and then every time someone's like getting stressed out, I'm like, hey, just remember the pipeline maturity, man. But the pipeline maturity is just very simple. Where the hell is this damn thing? That's really, yeah, it helps hear this. Well, this is the conversion funnel.
There you go. Yeah.
But you have another one for the pipeline maturity.
Yeah.
And yeah, just really understanding and trusting the process is what's helped me take it to the, you know, help me accomplish it is essentially. Because, you know, like the talk I was having this morning with another agent, that she's going on a lot of these preview appointments, but, you know, not really getting the FSBOs and not really getting all the listings. And I'm like, how many FSBOs come on the market usually? They say 4 a day. So I'm like, there's 120 FSBOs.
That's right.
So you're telling me you can't get 1 or 2 out of that month? And
right.
Like, hey, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm like, and again, it goes back to what you're saying. I think yours is like, expect not to get 80 or 90% of it or something like that. Right. And that's the mindset that I set. And I just go on these preview appointments, detach all outcomes, and just let it happen, man. Just let it happen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because in the pipeline thing that you've learned, that, believe it or not, you are mastering faster than most, is this is the biggest takeaway for people who are watching this, is segmenting the conversion process in a step-by-step system. That's really what's helped you. Like, step one for an agent is, of the 100 FSBOs, all they have to focus on first, Tane, right, is getting 20 of them to meet with them face-to-face. That's all they got to worry about. Then they can worry about the follow-up and turning those into listing presentations and how to convert them, and then how to price property. That all comes second. But all they have to worry about is this step-by-step funnel.
Yeah. Just the previews. That's literally all I focus on, is just getting face-to-face and let the face-to-face do everything. Because, you know, again, if you're a nice person and you treat everybody how they should be treated, I think it just comes back around and people can see it. And I truly detach myself from the outcome, like you teach. And you know, yesterday, 2 preview appointments, and they just loved it. They were just like, "You're the first realtor." You know, one lady has another home for sale by owner, and it's been on the market 200-something days. So she's been through a good amount of realtors. Yeah. And she told me straight up, she's like, "You're the first realtor that told me straight up, you don't have a buyer. You just want to come see the home.
That's right.
and just share with you some tips, which you did, and then you left me a backup plan, which you did. And she was like, I really appreciate it. And yeah, and same thing with the other wine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's literally, yeah. So
Love it. I love it. So, all right. So let's end with this. Couple things. You know, I have a lot of people who reach out to me, a lot of agents who reach out to me, you know, curious about what it is that we do inside this program, right? And
yeah.
rightfully so, Tane. You may not have had this because you're new, but I think you could sympathize that a lot of agents are very skeptical because of they've been burned in the past. They've invested in coaching and training, most of which is just absolute, you know, it's just not very good. It's a lot of BS being sold out there. You know, what is it like with people that are thinking about getting into this program? What would you say to somebody who's thinking about investing in this FSBO domination system?
I mean, it's not even much to begin with, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
The ROI is ridiculous. So I pulled numbers together for you because I figured you'd probably ask. For anyone that's
Cool.
on the fence about doing it, just do it. The numbers are there. All it takes is one deal for you to get the return on investment. That's it.
Right.
Literally it. I've gotten it multiple times, the ROI, because altogether I've listed, you know, if I get all these homes sold that I have actively, I'll make over $100,000 this year. As of, you know, again, this is if all the home sells, but every home that I've got all together combined equals $3,668,200. And, you know,
Wow.
so yeah, which is pretty cool. And, it's definitely something that I'm proud of because all the hard work that I've put into it. So it's really, the ROI is there. If you get 3% of it, it's $110,000 right there. And most of my listings, even though they're for sale by owners, I do get them at full 6% commission. The lowest I've got, you know, that's 5.5 really for military. Again, it's all about making my numbers work. I have a baseline number I need to hit for my 100,000 goal, which is $5,000 per transaction. But my goal is always to get that 6%. But the ROI is there. So anyone that's on the fence thinking about doing the program, highly recommend checking it out. To me, I'm brand new, no sales experience. I've done door-to-door marketing, but it's not really sales, face-to-face sales. It's been a game changer for me. To be honest, it's awesome. Yeah, my favorite thing is you have systems in place, and I've tried other coaching programs. So
Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah, I have. And well, so like, for example, you know, I'm trying to dive into expired. So I've looked into expired coaching programs, and they're not as structured as yours. Yours is by far, hands down. I'm not trying to just hype you up because I'm on here with you. I've tried 3 different expired programs, and they're not as detailed as how you are segmented to. This is what you do on the preview. This is what you do, and like, there's so much value in it. I think you probably have like 10 hours plus of content on the program.
Yeah. Yep. I would say something like that. Yeah.
And you know, my favorite thing is being able to follow step by step what I do on this preview appointment, what I do after the preview appointment, what I do on the listing presentations, what I do after I actually get the listing, and if, you know, like the setting expectations, if I need to do a price reduction, things like that. Like these are things that I'm, you know, I've only been with 2 brokerages, so I don't know if they teach it at every brokerage or whatnot. But you know, if you had Brookstone here, I'd probably be with Brookstone, to be quite honest with you.
Right.
All the free training I could get.
Yeah, that's right. Well, the thing is, I mean, here, and you know what? I'm excited. I know you know about this, but you know, I'm working on actually even a better program for FSBO domination that you're going to get, and I'm excited for you to get that. Well, dude, so what is your goal for 2020?
50.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to get 50 deals. You know, right now I'm on track right now. So I guess 50 deals right now. I've got 6 listings so far of this year, just alone. So that's why I'm trying to add something else into my pipeline, because that's really it. I'm going to work mainly on FSBOs, expires, geo, and absentees. These are my 4 funnels.
I love it.
Yep. So
and
that's
50 deals in your market. You know, what does that pay you? What would that pay you? Well, $5 grand, that's 250,000, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So if you know, the average sale price so far I'm working with, the average sale price that I'm aiming is 250,000 essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really it, to be quite honest with you. But this month I'm super excited. This is probably my biggest month. I got 4 deals expected to close this month, and probably the most I've ever made in 1 month, 30 plus something $1,000 in 1 month.
That's awesome.
I think close to 40. Yeah, because so I'm super excited. Yeah.
Now, so of that 30 to 40,000, how much of that is from FSBOs?
Actually, all right, yeah. So only about like 15,000 from FSBO.
It's great.
The other two. Yeah, here's another thing. I don't have a sphere of influence here in Virginia, but
that's what I was getting to.
I don't have a sphere of influence in Virginia, but I'm starting to build my sphere of influence as I go meet more people, and I'm keeping in touch with people that actually even end up selling on their own, and they've referred me people. So which is pretty funny. Yeah.
You're learning a way of communication. It's not about FSBOs or not. You're learning how to be a highly paid communicator, right? Yeah. And so do you think that anybody can learn this reverse selling system? I mean, sales or not, experience?
Yeah. I think all it'll take is the mental toughness. Again, that's why I watch your video, Man in the Mirror, probably once a month, just to refresh my mind, to keep me composed of like why I'm doing this.
I love it.
Yeah, I think anyone could do it. Literally, again, I have 0 sales experience. I come from IT industry, did not deal with sales. I was director of support. I've done marketing in the past when I was younger, but this is my first sales job, and it's definitely something that you can learn. It's very intriguing. Yeah.
It's awesome, dude. Well, thank you so much for doing this. I have 0 doubt that you will be a 50+ transaction producer in no time. Matter of fact, I'd like to do a follow-up like this in 12 months from now, kind of share with people what was your first year like, you know what I mean? And so you are you're inspiring for me, because like I told you off air, new agents that are coming into the business like you, that are showing up, that are coachable, that are doing the work, are the ones getting results. And so I want to thank you for that. And I'm excited for you to watch you grow. And I'm just honored to be right by your side as you're doing it.
Me too, man. You need to come out with the expired program next.
It's coming soon. It's coming soon.
Man, I tried. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. But yeah. Thank you again, Brandon. Anyone that's on the fence about joining the program, that's the way I looked at it personally. It's like, all right, what can I lose?
That's right. Thank you so much, Tane, man. You have an awesome week, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, all right?
Thanks, man. About to go on some preview appointments.
Awesome.